Hi Akash.
Hello, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
You seem to be very, proud of the fact, maybe pretty, happy about the fact that you have done your management and done your management from FMS. Is it right?
Sir, it was a very good experience, sir.
Okay.
To get there, to be among peers who are really good, coming from different background, to be among one of the best teachers in the country, and to have an experience like that was really enriching, sir. I was humbled.
And what was your subject of major?
So it was general management and IT.
And IT.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you know about general management? Say some principles, some important pillars in management. Can you share with me?
Sure, sir.
Mm.
So, sir, there have been so many, I would say, uh, management theories which has come up over the time. For example, sir, scientific management theory. Secondly, sir, bureaucratic management theory. So these are different pedagogy of how management could be done. One says that there has to be a scalar chain of command, sorry, sir. And other says that you need to invest in the right person. Like Taylor would say that if you invest in the right person and if you put right person in the right place, that would mean that overall management, the outcome of that would be good.
Mm.
Thirdly, sir, there are also
One says that it should be chain of command.
there should be chain of command. The bureaucratic theory for Henry Fowle or Max Weber, he would talk about hierarchy-based system because at that point in time, one would want, and there are areas of management, for example, sir, armed forces. Somebody is there and he has to manage things. There has to be scalar chain of command. But sir, it got evolved over the time, and now the model thing says that there has to be a two-factor theory, which is hygiene factor and motivation factor. Like Herzberg two-factor theory talks about it.
Which of these management models inspire you or you relate to better? I understand the thing, nothing right or wrong, but what do you think you have your heart at if you were to employ some of these principles of management in your work?
I think it would be a mixture of all because there is something to get from every one of them. I think there are situations wherein a scalar chain of command would be helpful. There are situations wherein you would want best person for the best thing. And there would be certain motivating factor. For example, sir, we are talking about 70-hour work week and 90-hour work week. Now, Herzberg two-factor theory really have delved into that. So I would see the situation and want to utilize that. So it will be a comprehensive thing, sir.
Now that you have mentioned it,
Yes.
what's your view on this 70-hour or 90-hour work week and vis-a-vis 4-day work week with work from home and work flexibility? What's your view on this?
Sir, firstly, my views on 70 and 90-hour work is it should be a personal choice from a person's end. And from the company end, it should not be a force, rather, it should be a motivation. I would want to come for 15 or 16 hours a day working if I'm motivated enough. And that motivation could be money factor. For example, say in my college also, there'll be two set of companies. Somebody is paying 80 lakhs per annum. So people would happily go there for 15, 16 hours a day. That means more than 100 hours a week. But then there are people who values work-life balance in their life, who values their time for their children or for their older parents.
See, you are at the head of a company, you are managing a company. What principle would you enforce or would you want to go after? It's okay, it's nice to be democratic, to ask people's views and all of that. That's fine. That's part of the political answer that you can give me. You as a head of a company,
Yes.
Okay, what do you think you stand by in terms of principle, in terms of your commitment?
Sir, I would want to give as much flexibility as possible.
That's not how companies work.
So it does happen in companies like Google,
Okay.
sir, and they're really doing good.
As much flexibility.
Yes, sir. While I'll also make sure that the efficiency is not compromised because efficiency and flexibility goes together most of the time. So if you allow people to take the ownership of the company, they would outperform whatever threshold we keep for them. So I think giving them work.
You think this will work in Indian setting, in the government sector, in the public enterprises, in say schools, education? You think you give that kind of flexibility? Teachers
Sir,
can come whenever they want to come. They can teach whenever they want to teach. Rural development programs can be executed by people who can work at their convenience. At their, you think it is possible for Indian setting and Indian working?
so largely it's not because they are essential services. And in essential services, many a time you are required at a particular place. However, sir, just talking about the teacher example. So let's say they have to take certain number of classes.
Hmm.
So it would be good if they are motivated enough to take it in first 8 months and they would want to spend their 4 months somewhere else, maybe. So I think they are
What happens to students then?
Sir, a particular teacher not teaches for 12 hours, 12 months of the year. So if they think that in the first 9 months, they would want devote their entire to the student, and the next 3 months they want to devote to their personal life, I think it should be fine.
So school goes, there are no classes for next 3 months. Children are at home.
Uh, sir, I wanted to say that a particular subject is taught in particular time.
Yeah, for that subject,
Yes,
the
sir.
course is over in 5,
Yeah.
6 months.
Yes, sir.
Remaining 3 months, there are no classes. The students are back at home.
So other teachers are coming to teach other subjects, sir.
Yeah, there are 3 teachers who decide this approach. Out of 5 subjects, 3 teachers have finished the course in 5, 6 months. The other 3 months, what does the child do?
So I think the better scheduling is the things that we should be looking at. Like it should not be at one go that all the teachers are going, but maybe one teacher can take this. So having this liberty helps her. So if doing exactly would depend on the situation, sir. It's not cast in stone, sir. There has to be certain changes.
You're still being a political in your answer. Okay, I still want to figure out where do you stand committed for. Okay, 70, 90-hour work is a symbolic statement about something.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but where do you stand? Is it a command control system that you would want to operate in and work efficiently? Or are you okay with laissez-faire, flexibility-based working?
Sir, there are certain positive of one pedagogy and there is certain benefit of other one.
Definitely.
Sir, I would want to have a hybrid of this, sir. I personally believe that quality is much more important over quality. So efficiency is first for me. So if a person gives me right amount of work in 8 hours, I'm not looking at 70 or 90 hours a week. Secondly, sir, I need to create enough motivation for that person to stay there.
You are a bureaucrat. You're an IS officer. The incentive, the emoluments, the salary is not in your hand. There are certain labor regulations you have to follow in terms of minimum hour of work and minimum wage.
Yes, sir.
So the motivation part is not really in your work, except for some good, nice words now and then. As an IS officer, you're heading a department, you're heading certain ministries maybe as a cabinet secretary or whatever. So which model would work as a bureaucrat, as as a IS officer, as an executive in Indian, administrative system? Which model you think will work?
Sir, personally, if I am an IS officer, so I've already taken this decision to be part of this system of working 14, 15 hours. That's the reality. So here I'm already motivated to work. So there isn't any question.
No, not about you. I'm talking about the team working under you.
Sir,
what system will you enforce for them?
Sir, I think there are certain motivators I would want to have. For example, giving certain reward to them, may not be the cash reward, giving them the right position they want.
You can't control that either. Right position, right promotion is all hierarchy based in India.
Sir, but you do write good things about them, sir. Your feedback, which is taken up the ladder. So that's what happens, sir. So, and sir, generally, if I think the leadership, if the leader at the top is very disciplined or is doing the things immaculately, I think the character flows down the ladder. So if I am good enough, if I'm doing the things right, so they will also be motivated enough, sir, is what I can think of.
There's one debate on that we should take bureaucrats from management colleges.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Rather than from any general college or any general examination, we should be taking from management graduates. What's your view on that?
Sir, I think it was said in a context. Narayan Murthy sir may have said that based on the pedagogy or better managerial practices which is required in civil services, and may also be quantitatively lesser number of civil servants which are there. But he said
Lesser
that,
number, as in?
sir, we require much more number of Indian administrative services people. Uh, as our country is bigger, the governance require much more people than we are recruiting for now. So he said that he did not say that we just have to take it from there. He said that much more than what we are doing, we can also do this. I think I take that point. However, sir, there is a one problem, which I feel that not necessarily a person from MBA or B school is only smarter. Because in IAS or IPS or any civil services, would require people who may understand grassroots problems, who is ready to go that extra mile. So not
The
necessarily.
management graduates are not trained on those lines.
Sir, I'm saying that while B school students are good enough to should be recruited, but then that is not the only avenue to do that. We can groom these people in maybe the training academy or Labasna, so they can also bring similar outputs, sir.
What else do you think is holding back India's economy? We have not been able to unleash India's potential or unleash, the trajectory that we would have wanted for India. What holds back India?
Sir, I think the reasons are multifold. Firstly, sir, there are so many happenings which have happened in the past. For example, we had 2008 financial crisis. We sit in the very difficult geopolitical space, which does create a lot of pressure on us. Secondly, sir, the baseline was also lesser. In 1947, when we started as an independent country, the literacy rate was massively low. Human capital development was also massively low. So we in 75 years have done a lot. So that could not be considered as a lower achievement. But there are certain tougher measures we need to take. For example, sir, labor laws needs to be revamped. Uh, we need to decrease the taxation rate of it. We've been talked about to make things very.
What in labor laws? What in labor laws changes you need?
So we would want certain things at the parameters of gig economy, sir. Right now, we see bane of dwarfism in MSMEs because if they go beyond 20 employee, they will have to face very stricter laws. And that is the reason they are not growing up at times. So to make it very flexible that as the demand surges, you can employ, and as the demand goes down, you can just.
That probably will help increase employment.
Yes, sir.
My question is, what holds back India in terms of economic growth?
Sir, so when in economic growth, we have a consumption expenditure as one of the important things. So if we are giving jobs to people, so the consumption expenditure will increase. And since the consumption expenditure is also increasing, more investment in the economy, sir. And secondly, sir, there are certain sectors we need to do good, sir, which is manufacturing. That is, we've not been able to do good. Even the agricultural growth rate is much less.
How do you see the future of manufacturing? Now that we have automation, we have AI, we've done some work on AI also. We have rising protectionism in the US, even in EU ultimately. So what do you think? What is the future of the manufacturing sector, and can India gain from this manufacturing sector in terms of addressing its growth objectives?
So, as you correctly said, sir, that the future lies in technology, AI, smart sensors, 3D printing. All these things will dominate high-end manufacturing. But there is another vertical, sir, which is low-end manufacturing. For example, textile-based industries, for leather-based industries, they may not require those kind of technology going forward. They may take a long term for that. So we need to divide these two. In the low end, sir, I think we will do much better if we are having.
Won't government go the AI way also?
It would, sir, but I think it will take a lot of time.
Automation rather.
Sir, because there requires a personalized skill over there.
If I can make robots do surgery, if I can have robots manage critical technologies, why can't robots stitch clothes? The personalized one will be those coveted high fashion, high street products.
Yes, I was thinking on those lines.
Yeah, but then I'm talking about
the mass ones.
Yeah.
Sir, yes, sir. Mass one can be
We are
automated.
losing
sir.
jobs in that.
Yes, sir. We are losing. We may lose.
How can you be optimistic about then the manufacturing?
Sir, because India also has this, India is also considered to be one of the big capital of IT skills, the technology skill. So if we can better utilize it, because many of our people are sitting as the top CEOs of these companies. So if we can revert that, we can keep those skills back in India via some programs like 1,000 talent program of China or something like that. that could help us. But sir, I think in short term, we may lose a lot of job if we are not pushing it very fast.
Okay. Okay. You read about Indian weapons development program.
Yes, sir, I've started.
How did you get into this interest?
I've been reading newspaper for last 7, 8 years, and recent. So I've been reading about external relations, international affairs, what is happening. And one of the major thing every time it was coming was that this weapon has developed, that weapon has developed. So it just got my mind there and started reading much broadly about
Which
it.
weapon are you impressed about?
Impressed.
Yes, that India has developed.
So many, sir. But if I have to choose one, I would choose maybe INS Arihant.
INS Arihant. Tell me about it.
So it's a nuclear submarine, SSBN, submersible ballistic nuclear, and it provides India with second strike capability, which is much more required when we are talking of a two-front war in China and India. But sir, it's not limited to this. There are so many other things.
How many have we commissioned? This type of
We have
submarine?
commissioned two for now.
Two.
Yes, sir. Arihant and Arihant. Arihant slightly bigger. He has K4 missiles rather than K15. So it means that we have 3,500 kilometer range over there. So
can you explain this? What Israel did by exploding the pagers?
Yes, sir.
How did they do that?
So, sir.
And are we also at risk with our phones? We use iPad, laptops. We have earpods. How vulnerable are we?
Sir, if there is some ploy, we could be vulnerable, but primarily coming to the Israel part of it. Sir, intelligence in their statecraft. So for 20 years, they have been thinking about how to decimate Hezbollah commanders. So what they did was they create layer of companies, and they were motivated enough Hezbollah that don't use the phones, better use pagers for smart, secured functioning. And they bought this argument in somewhere early 2000, like 2008-9. What happened that these companies were Israel company only because there were so many layering, Hezbollah could not know that. When the pager came, they just put certain thing in that which was blast. Now it was being given to every person and nobody knew about it. When Nasrallah got to know about it, who was the Hezbollah head at that point in time, he gave it to Iran to check that. Then they thought that this is the last chance we should do that. And then they detonated it and all of them died. So I think it's a brilliant display of statecraft and intelligence and armed force and all mental might.
What about the innocent lives lost? Good number of casualties were children, women, civilian.
Sir, I think that's very unfortunate. And India and our Honorable Prime Minister have also been talking about how wars is not the solution to all these things and peace is the solution. And only by diplomacy, we need to go about all these things. But
so, how vulnerable are we with our phones?
I think
a lot of Chinese products comes in, Chinese softwares. You never know what could be in our laptops, in our mobile phones. How vulnerable are we?
So there is a general apprehension about things which is coming out from China because no company over there is a fully private company.
Do we have a firewall against this in Indian cybersecurity?
We do have, sir, but how effective is that? I'm not very clear about.
I'm expecting because you have been reading about weapon development. You didn't think about cybersecurity and cyber attacks and part of cyber weapons?
I did read about it, sir, but then firewalls and all, I still need to delve into, sir. So,
okay.
I'm really sorry for that.
Tell me what ails edtech sector? We have seen one company after company fall and very difficult annual financial reports. What ails India's edtech sector?
Sir, firstly, I think the edtech sector got a very fast-paced growth during the COVID-19 time.
Okay.
And the recalibration has happened. So the amount of growth which was happening was also pushing a lot of money. But now that reordering has happened, the finances have gone down. So we are seeing a funding winter and also lesser number of growth. So that's why.
What is the main philosophical problem of edtech that is compromising it?
So there are two.
or
For
systemic maybe flaws or gaps?
So it is not regulated as much. So people do not have a trust primarily after the Byju's fiasco you're talking about earlier.
Hmm.
So that is the thing. Secondly, sir, I think the studies we think in India, the education we see is all brick and mortar setup. A lot of Indians still think in brick and mortar setup. And whenever they have to pay more than 10, 15,000, they would really want a teacher and pen and paper. And that is what our research also said. And there was a project I was working. So the average ARU, average 18 per unit, uh, would not be more than 10, 15,000 for EdTech. If you go beyond that, you will see lot less number of people are getting attracted by you. So the trust is also a problem for now.
Yes.
Digital divide is a
How
problem.
do you see the future of edtech, or what model will they adopt, or what changes you think will happen? Say, looking at the crystal ball again for gazing. Let's see.
Sir, firstly, I think the course correction is already happening after the Baiju. So we are not going too much into the predatory pricing kind of thing. So that is done. Secondly, so the coaching regulation has also come up. So that has also set the tone in right spirit. But sir, I think there are three, four verticals. One is K-12 segment, which is below 12 standard. There is a coaching segment, which is of preparation for examination. Then there is a skilling one, which is Vedantu and all. And the fourth one, it's a pure degrees, like Skill University, AI Skill University, or something like that. I think in K-12 we will be lesser in future also because coaching regulation has also come up, and there is a general understanding that we should not be coaching should not be there below 15 or 16 years of age. But in skill development, primarily for women who cannot come out of the patriarchal setup, and they would want a skill to have. There, I think EdTech will do much better in enhancing. I would say activity-based learning also in primary school, because right now the pedagogy I don't think is really good. National education policy is also talking about technology and all, so I can see EdTech sector playing some role there, sir. And but skilling would be the go-to market strategy for them.
Skilling, you think, has a future?
Yes, sir.
What about the coaching industry?
So I think coaching industry would largely follow hybrid model.
Okay. So, Akash, why do you want to join the civil services?
Uh, Sir, I am already in a civil service. For primarily, I'm looking forward for Indian Administrative Service. And sir, because I personally feel that it's a complete service. And when I say it's a complete service, sir, I think professionally it gives us the ability to work on diverse uh, segment of work. So much variety of work is there. Secondly, sir, I think personally for me, working for people, working for grassroots people, doing public service, it's something which is connected to me. So it is also allowing me to work there. And thirdly, the uses of thing I have done, which is technology and management. Today, the governance is sitting at utilizing technology and better managerial practices. So I think, sir, overall, if I see my trajectory of next 30 years in the professional career choice, it ticks all the boxes. And that's why, sir, I want to be here.
What do you think can be your limitation as a good IAS officer?
I can't think of any right now, sir.
You don't want to share?
Uh, I really can't think any, sir. But maybe in 5, 6 years into the service, I understand that. But I would rectify as much as I can.
Or in general, what do you think is your limitation, given the experience that you have had in education, management? So what do you think are gaps in your, in your personality that you think can impact eventually?
Sir, coming from a management background and a corporate setup, I personally feel that uh, I could want much higher efficiency, and at times it may not suit with the working condition of the place. So there may require a readjustment or balancing out, sir. So that's the only thing I can think of.
Okay, Akash, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
We had quite a conversation. Thank you.